Hello and welcome to another episode of the It's the Pictures podcast. I'm your host, Max Colville. This is another bonus episode from the Nightstream Film Festival. This will end our coverage of the festival. If you have enjoyed it, we did a preview, and there was 2 other episodes with reviews of some of the films that were playing there. This episode will give the review of the film Black Bear, and I'll also be talking about a little bit of my overall thoughts of the festival and my hopes for next year. I guess let's start with the review. So, Black Bear is a 2020 American comedy drama thriller, according to Wikipedia. I don't think that there's actually much comedy in it, but sure, it could be comedy. It actually had its world premiere at Sundance Film Festival in January, and it's going to be released December 4th by Momentum Pictures. So if you hadn't caught it during Nightstream, there's going to be a chance to see it again very soon in just 2 short months. Black Bear is directed by Lawrence Michael Levine, and he's best known as an actor-director. In his work, he has directed the film Wild Canaries, and I guess he appeared in as an actor in the film Always Shine, and I'm not too familiar with that film, but I know that there's critics and people certainly who are high on it and enjoy it quite a bit. So when I saw Black Bear, I thought it was going to be this tense thriller, right? In it, we have Christopher Abbott as Gabe, Sarah Gadon as Blair, and Aubrey Plaza as Allison. And Aubrey Plaza is a struggling actress who is looking for a retreat. She's an actress director herself, actually, and she is looking for inspiration. So she goes out to this beautiful log cabin in the woods, and it's owned by Christopher Abbott's Gabe and his family. And what Aubrey Plaza's character doesn't know is that she'll be staying with Gabe and Gabe's pregnant girlfriend, Blair, who played by Sarah Gadon, like I mentioned. And they go through the motions of saying like why they have had guests at their place, and while they never really had intentions to be a bed and breakfast, it was a way to use some of the house and gain a little extra money. They decided to move out there when work was tough and just enjoy the place while they had it. But some weird events start happening, right? It's obvious that Gabe and Blair don't really get along, and they contradict every single thing that each other says, and it seems like more they're in a relationship of convenience, or one that they're kind of stuck in because now there's a child on the way. And Allison's, Aubrey Plaza's character, has suddenly thrown a little bit of a wrench in the plans, as it's obvious that Christopher Abbott's Gabe is very attracted to her and interested in her, even though he denies it to the contrary. And, what you have here is a thriller love triangle. But that's only really half the film. When there's like a mid-film turnaround that sort of flips a lot of the movie on its head. And to get into detail of what exactly happens would to spoil a little bit of what happens here, so I'll leave that out. But needless to say, that's when Aubrey Plaza really gets the shine, and I think that it's easily her strongest performance ever in this movie, and for no other reason, that's why you should watch it. I actually didn't really enjoy it myself. I found myself, I wouldn't say bored, but like wondering why I should care about these people and their plight. and not really liking any of the characters at all. I think that even if everything that goes on in both halves of the movie truly meant something, the finale or how it ends just doesn't tie anything up whatsoever. So it just feels like two really great ideas or interesting ideas to deconstruct a love triangle, but it doesn't quite get to the finish line. So that's Black Bear. I didn't really enjoy it. I guess looking online at some of my peers, I'm in the minority. A lot of people do really find it fascinating and interesting, but not me. And like I said, you can, if you decide to check out Black Bear for yourself, you can check it out December 4th when it comes out. All right, so a little bit about the Nightstream Film Festival itself and my experience with it. I had a really great time with it. It was thrown together, like I said in the preview podcast, 5 different film festivals from around North America, and it was a way to raise money for these different film festivals when there was no way to have people come in person and see films. So not only were the selections of films really broad and for the most part pretty good, it was really smooth to use the online system and order tickets and stuff like that. I really enjoyed doing it, and obviously if you don't have a film festival near you, these online film festivals have been like a boon for you, right? Because typically, I know myself, I had to go up to Boston to check out film festivals. And while I don't mind doing it, it's certainly a ride. Or you had to go to, or in another way, you had to go to Toronto, or you had to go to New York, or Telluride, or, big city film festivals. And by having it online, a lot of these film festivals have been able to sell tickets to anybody who could just purchase them online. I do think, like, I've seen a glut of virtual film festivals come online in, like, maybe the last week or two, and I'm glad that Nightstream came out when they did and got ahead of some of this, because at the end of the day, there's only so much money to go around to get virtual tickets to movies and to see so many movies. So being first is really a big deal. And I'm glad that this festival came out of the gate strong. Whether I know how successful it was, I don't know. All I can say is that, as for me, I think it was a success. As I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the films there. I think that they had this really cool virtual place where people could get together and walk around and using like 8-bit avatars, and it was really cool and clever. And I thought that was a really great way to sort of have the film festival experience without being there in person, or to interact with people that you wouldn't see otherwise. So that was pretty cool. I guess I only wished that I had more time to do that, because it seemed pretty great. But as for the future, I'd like to say that I hope that this is the only Nightstream Film Festival, because I hope all 5 film festivals are able to have in-person events come next year. I have a hard time believing that it will be the only one, though, because I think that, in my humble opinion, that next year we still won't be back to what we were in 2019 as far as theater going and public screenings. So I think that there's still going to be room for virtual film festivals, and I think that once you do it, there is a system in place to really do it successfully. I think my only hesitation with virtual film festivals is that there needs to be like some kind of notification system, right, to tell you when your film's about to go live. I think I got some of those when I was doing I don't know, like this New York Film Festival. I think I got a email when I was supposed to see Nomadland or something, and it was a reminder. And John and I are going to talk on our episode 100, which was recorded before this episode, but will come out afterwards. And that he had forgotten altogether that he had rented Nomadland and missed the 4 hour window. Of course, Nomadland wasn't playing at Nightstream, but similarly, like a film like Run only had like a 3 hour window, and you had to turn it on at like 9:15 when it went up to actually watch the film. Otherwise, it was going to disappear. So I just think it's really important to put those notifications. Obviously, it's not on the film festival to remind you to see a film that you've paid for. I mean, that's just normal life, right? When you buy a ticket for a film, no one's nudging you and saying, oh, you have to remember to go see it. But I guess it would be nice. I mean, was it just like another computer thing to send an email or something? So I guess that's something I would change about these virtual screenings. But on a whole, I think Nightstream was really fun. If they do another one next year because of COVID or constraints, I'd be down to cover it again, and I enjoy it quite a bit. I hope you've enjoyed the coverage of the festival, even if we don't cover a lot of like genre films, like such as horror. I mean, we talk about sci-fi here a lot, but it's rare that we really go deep into horror because John doesn't really like the genre all that much. But I hope you've enjoyed it if you've listened. And as always, if you'd like to reach out to me on Twitter, I'm at MHCoville. John is at John L. Gilpatrick. The podcast is on Twitter at It'sThePickPod. You can email us at itsthepictures@gmail.com. You can see the whole collection of our podcasts at itsthepicturespodcast.com. Or you can see it on Stitcher or Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, you'll likely find our episodes. I hope you've enjoyed this Nightstream coverage, and stay tuned because tomorrow we have our episode 100, and you won't want to miss that. All right, bye.